This is my first year working with Reading Plus. I believe that it's a phenomenal program here at Deming Cesar Chavez Charter High School. I've seen it do some amazing things. A lot of our students have come in not even able to read, and they have some deficiencies, probably more in attention span, staying focused. They have low self-esteem when it comes to reading. I think every student I've met here at the charter school says, I hate reading. That's the number one thing I've heard every student say. I hate reading. But I don't think it's so much that they hate reading. I think it's just that they're frustrated because they struggle in some areas and they've not gotten the help that they needed to overcome those issues. Whether it be understanding vocabulary words or pronouncing a word, or being able to follow along. They get halfway through a sentence and then they're jumping back and they don't realize what's happening with their reading. They have poor fluency. So with the Reading Plus program, it addresses some of these deficiencies in these areas that our students are struggling with. The C-readers and that guided window reading really helps our students stay focused on reading, because what I tell my students, a lot of times why we don't understand what we're reading is that as we're reading, our eyes are tracking and then they'll jump back a word and then they'll track and they might jump all over the place. We don't realize our eyes are doing this number because it has to do with the muscles in our eyes. Our eyes are a muscle. Our eyes are the primary way that we receive information that our brain begins to process, tell our body what to do, how to think, how to process. We don't realize how important our eyes are. And we don't always see what our eyes are doing. But as someone who works with somebody who's reading, you can see and watch what their eyes are doing. You can see them tracking, jumping all over the place. That by the time they get to the bottom of the page, they remember some words, but it's pretty jumbled because it's the way that the eye was seeing and receiving the information. And with Reading Plus, it helps train the eye through eye balance skills, the flash and the scan. Great exercises to train the eye muscles, how we need them to function, to receive information that we can use, process, to understand, to make decisions. It really helps. It's like a gym for your eyes. So when I explain that part to the students, they seem to agree that, yeah, their eyes do jump all over the place. They do see words and they're jumping. And as they begin to use the program, they notice that that happens less and less and less. And they're able to get through a page of text. They're able to get through a paragraph and remember what that paragraph was about, where previously they couldn't do that. Their eyes in the beginning become tired because just like any muscle that you use that you haven't used gets tired, gets sore. And I encourage the students to keep utilizing the program, keep working it, and eventually their eyes get stronger. And as they do, they're not as tired. They don't hate reading as much. We've actually seen students gain in reading levels. They may have come in with a very low reading score. And generally, if you work one-on-one with the student, it takes a year's worth of working with them to grow one grade level. That's just how we normally grow and progress. What I've seen here with our students who have actually used the program every day for a minimum of 45 minutes a day, in 4 months' time, we've had some of those students jump 4 grade levels in reading, which is phenomenal. And when I share that data with the students, after the initial assessment, I show them where they're at. We talk about their scores. We talk about what's going on with their reading, what they like, what they don't like, what they're having issues with. I have this conversation with the student. We talk about the program that Reading Plus has designed for them. How by reading this many stories every week, doing this many vocabulary, doing this many eye balance, these visual skills every week, spending time, how it can help them overcome some of these issues they're struggling with reading. And when the student actually grasps that, and takes hold of it and actually works the program, those are the students that we've seen the greatest gains with. And when I show them their second results, how they've grown 4 or 5 reading levels, and I talk about that in a traditional sense, we should only see you grow only a couple of months. But you grew 4 years worth in 4 months. How much more can you grow if you spend a little bit more time? And it helps get them using the program more. Students are excited. We've even used this program for our Spanish-speaking students, so those who are learning English for the very first time. In the beginning, they may struggle. We supplement with another program to teach them the basic phonics and things, and then we allow them to read stories because they're high school students, and they want to read, and they want to do what everyone else is doing. And so we allow them to use the program, and we've had some of our ELL learners jump from a very low reading level, and they jumped up 3 or 4 grade levels in reading. And the look on that student's face when she saw her growth was just, when she was jumping up and down in class, she was just like on cloud 9. I don't know who was more excited, her or myself, to see the improvements. It built up her self-esteem. She's doing better in math. The student, because she had very limited use of the English language skill, vocabulary, able to track, and just read. She's doing well in math. Her history scores have gone up. She's able to actually read some of her English text and actually answer questions and write them. And where before she really was hesitant going to class, she enjoys working on her coursework. So just seeing what it's done for the self-esteem of our students, just things clicking. They can read, they can understand, comprehend. When students finish a level, they're excited. They'll come to my room. Hey, Miss Moreno, I just finished a level. I'm on the next level. When they've really figured out the program, how to move up in reading levels, I had a student complete a reading level in 1 week. What would normally take 2 to 3 weeks, according to the way the program was designed for them, that student just worked the program and did it in a week. And they set their own goals. So it's really helped students stay focused and go beyond just reading goals, but they're now looking for goals in other areas. It's been amazing.